We are discussing Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter. Yesterday we had seen little about the 14th chapter, 14th sloka. Daivi he sa gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya me tam tarantite. We are discussing on Jnana-Vijnana Vibhaga Yoga. The result of the true aspirant who practices yoga and reaches the sanambhanam of the whole life, reaches the absolute height. What happens then? He becomes one with the absolute truth. And how does it look like? And he feels himself as the absolute. And on that basis, Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna how is the experience of that absolute being. Devi he sa gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. The absolute declares that this maya, this ignorance which is composed by three qualities or three qualitative energy, three aspects of the energy, that is sattva, rajas, tamas, and by imbalancing it, the nature does all the creative process, and it sustains it, it destroys it, everything is done by the help of the three qualities. And that is how it is so difficult to cross over. That is what Lord Krishna is explaining. Verily, this divine illusion of mind, means the illusory power of the Absolute, made up of the three qualities of nature, is difficult to cross over. Those who take refuge in me alone cross over this illusion. This illusory power which creates the confusion, illusion, delusion, and all the jhans, it is very difficult to go beyond it, because everybody is the product of this only. So how to go out of it? Impossible. Rarely someone gets out of it. So he says, this Maya, this my nature, qualitative nature, it is so strong, so overpowering, hardly one can get out of it. And who will go across Maya? He who takes refuge in me, means the Absolute. That means one who is strongly established, conformly established on the truth. That means absolute equilibrium. there is no chance of imbalanced state in that. So he can easily get over this illusory power. He is ever constant. The bright example is before us, the little boy Dhruva. Dhruva means constancy. Eternal constancy is called Dhruva. And he got that absolute steadiness by the grace of Lord. He took refuge in the name of Lord, the form of Lord, the mantra of Lord. He surrendered to Him by all means, and as a result, he got that ever eternally constant state. That is called the state of Dhruva, eternal constancy. And they say our pole star, which is named by Dhruva, it is the center of the universe, and all these 7 stars in the question mark, they keep up the balance of all the universe. They go round the center and keep up the balance of the whole universe. And Dhruva is the center of the whole universe. That's how it is constant. The center is ever constant. One who takes refuge in the Lord, he will get over this Maya, or else none can go out of its clutches. Maya is the upadhi or the causal body, Karan Sharir. See this causal body, Karan Sharir. From how many angles we look at it and we define it, many such definitions are there on causal body. Very often we discuss causal body is not anything else other than the presence of the Absolute. That presence cannot be denied, it is ever there, and that is called causal body. Yesterday itself we were discussing, just as the government and its presence does its work, similarly this causal body. But now here we see it from the other angle of vision. This causal body is called the upadhi, the assumed or undertaken a different form other than the real form, reality. Just as we very often discuss the actors, they play the role of somebody and they dress up like that somebody. Just as the boy plays the role of Rama in Ram Lila, so he dresses up like Rama. So Rama is the upadhi, assumed form, which is not reality for the child who is playing the role of Rama. In this way, everywhere, say, we can say the snake also is upadhi on the rope. In many ways we can see these examples. Upadhi. It is not the reality, but assumed form. So how this Maya is assumed form. Who has taken the form of Maya? This is to be understood thoroughly. Maya is the upadhi of the Absolute. Upadhi of the Absolute. The Absolute is ever present in everyone, every individual being, and that individual being takes another form, assumed form, as body, senses, mind, prana, and all these, and plays the role. Individual being plays the role. In reality, Mayi, in me, Jivatvam, the individuality, or Isattam, or Godhood. Mayi Jivatvam Isattam Kalpitam. It is just imagined, assumed, superimposed. Vastuto nahi. I am not so in reality. I am nothing of all these names and forms and assumed upadhis. This is the reality. This is the experience of the realized souls. Neither you are the individual being, nor you are the God. God also, God means here Ishwar. Ishwar we shall discuss. Ishwar is the controller of this illusory power. Ishwar is the boss of this illusory power. Just as the government head of the department is the controller of the whole department. Isn't it? Department is nothing but working system, and controller is one there. So he will be just like Ishvara, the absolute controller. Controller of working process by the Maya, illusory power. He says, Maya is the upadhi or the causal body, Karan Sarira of Ishvara. It is the material cause of this universe. Material cause, how it is? Maya is not at all something, so how it can be material cause? It is not the matter, so how it can be material cause?
The world is also imaginary.
Yes, world is formed by name and form, composed by name and form. All the triads doer, doing and done. In this way, this world is understood and seen, and relatively there is transaction in this way only. So all these are ever changing. So nothing is real, imaginary or dreamy, ever changing. So the material, so-called material cause is not a material cause. There is no cause for it. If you ask where from those ghosts came last night who were dancing at the gate side, where from they come, who invited them? None is invited. Nobody has invited them because they were not there. If you ask how long it takes for the horns to grow, become 1 foot long of a rabbit? This question is baseless. What is the date of birth of the barren woman's child? All these are meaningless questions. So this is how this material cause, it is called so-called material cause. If at all you accept this world is really there, then it must be constituted by some causes, by some ingredients. They are the material cause. So Maya means all these nature. Nature means 5 elements. So 5 units of the senses or elements, panch tanmatra. So they get together and they become the matter for the names and forms to be created. That is how material cause. If at all the world is there, then there will be some cause for it. Then this is the material cause. Other causes are different. Yes?
Clay is the material cause for pots.
Yes, similarly. And many other causes are also there. Upadana karan, material cause. Nimitta karan. And nimitta, the purpose and the instrumental cause by which it is made, that is instrumental cause, and from which it is made, from which, on which, in which, by which, and at the time which, in the place which it is done. So all these are different types of causes. Karak, karan. It is the material cause of this universe. It is inherent in the Lord. It is inherent in the Lord. Inherent in the Lord means just as the heat is inherent in the fire. That is the nature of the fire. So it is inherent nature. It is constituted of the 3 qualities. Mayi hai sa gunamayi. Mama maya duratyaya, and he is told yesterday also, Tribhir gunamayeri bhavi revi sarma vidam jagat. Jaiva sattvika bhava rajasa tamasa chaje. All these qualities, they belong to the Maya. So it is constituted of the 3 qualities, which is sattva, rajas and tamas. Those who completely devote themselves to the Lord alone, after renouncing all formal religion, dharma, sarva dharman parityajya. Those who completely devote themselves to the Lord alone, after renouncing all formal religion. Our dharma, our religion is formality. Formality. You have to give up it. And that is how Lord Krishna has emphasized on this point. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam raja. I am the alone. I will in me you have to take refuge. This is what he is telling here now also. Mame bhavaje prapadyante. One who takes refuge in me, he alone gets over this maya. Renouncing all formal religion, cross over this illusion which deludes all beings. Why one should give up this formal religion? Why? This is what to be observed in society. This is called social rules and regulations. Dharma. Dharma means the harmony, the law and order which keeps up the harmony in the society. Whatever society, human society, animal society, whatever society, everywhere there is dharma which keeps out the harmony. So why should he give up this harmony? Then what will happen to the society? It will get destroyed. No, we should not give up our dharma. My dear, this dharma is only for the society. Society is nothing but the work of the maya, illusory power. Mama maya, it is my power. So all these dharmas, of course, as long as you are in the society, you have to follow all of them. But the moment you want to go across, then you have to go across the dharma also. Then only you can get rid of it. So all these dharmas are for the time being. One should follow as long as you are in the society. Human society, you have to follow human dharma, manav adhikar. What is manav adhikar? I can shout. Let you be disturbed, never mind. This is called so-called manav dharma. I can do whatever I like because it is my right. But I don't care for others. That is not the real dharma. Dharma means everybody should be happy and in their limits, and that is your right. You have to be in your limit. If you will cross your limit, others will be bound to cross their limits and enter your limit. When you cross your limit, be assured your limit also is crossed by others. Do unto others as you wish to be done by others. This is the law of dharma. So that is human right. Not only human right, everybody's right, all beings' right. There is certain limits. So they who come to me alone after renouncing all these formal religion or religious duties, they cross over this illusion which deludes all beings. They attain liberation or moksha. Moksha means freedom from this bondage to be in these illusory clutches. Ishvara is the Lord of Maya. Ishvara, the God, the all-controller, Niyati, Daiv, we say. Ishvara is the Lord of Maya. He has perfect control over it. Avidya is the Upadhi. The same thing. Avidya, another name for the Maya from different angle of vision. Avidya, misunderstanding or ignorance, not understanding, not knowing the reality. Avidya is the Upadhi. Limiting adjunct. Upadhi means limiting rules and regulations. You have limit. Every being is limited, private limited. The company private limited. Everybody is private limited. You have limitations. Every being has limitations. And that's how, when the unlimited is limited, that is called being. The formless is formed by certain imaginary, illusory lines, ever-changing lines, demarcating lines. Then the form is formed, or the individuality or the jiva is formed, and that is called being, because it has become something limited. It has become limited on the, in the, from the, by the, unlimited. This is how it is limited. The upadhi, assumed form. All of our forms and names are assumed only, assumptions. It is not real, because it changes every moment. So whatever momentary form or name you have, that is assumed for the, taken for granted for the time being, for the place being, or the conditions being. So that is called assumption, assumed limitedness. Why it is? Your limitations are assumed. Limitations are upadhis, assumed forms. So, how it is assumed? Limitation, that itself shows you are unlimited. You have been limited by imagination or assumption, or taken it for granted for the time being, for the purpose being, for the condition being. It is assumed for a short time. That is called relativity, which changes, yes.
The space is unlimited. The wall, when it comes, becomes limited.
Limited.
This becomes limited.
Yes.
Remove the wall, unlimited.
Yes. And the space is unlimited, and the movement is limited. That movement and the space is called energy. And when that energy is still limited, then there is friction and heat and fire. In this way, all are limited, limitation is limited, again that limitation is again limited. So in that way you go far away from the center. Being limited, and you have forgotten the unlimitedness. Ignorance is the veil that has screened the jiva, individual being, from Satchidanand, Brahman, or the existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. Satchidanand. When the veil is removed by the dawn of knowledge of the self, the jiva loses his character as a jiva or an individual soul and becomes identical with Brahman. When my Gopalu came home, he threw away all those dresses of Lord Rama. Now he is no more Rama. If he has to come home, he has to throw off all his made up, assumed forms and dresses. This is how the jiva throws off his assumed limited forms and names, and then only he can become one with the Absolute. So, what are the assumed forms? The body with 5 layers of panchakosas of the body, or the 3 bodies, gross body, subtle body and causal body, or all these ingredients, material causes, or upadhis, whatever, everything has been collected, accumulated, gathered together, made a whole totality, a group, a body. Everything together is called a body. And when you give up this total body idea, then only you are one with the Absolute, which is your real nature. This is how taking refuge means renouncing all the dharmas, your so-called duties, and renouncing your assumed forms, that is upadhis, and taking refuge in the Absolute means by itself you will be one with it, with the Absolute. So then, namam duskritino mudhaha prapadyante naradhamaha mayaya pahrita jnana asuram bhavamasritaha. The evildoers, duskritino, the sinners, the evildoers, and the deluded ones, deluded, ignorant persons who doesn't see what is reality, doesn't know what is reality, who are veiled with the screen of illusory power. Such evildoers are the deluded, ignorant persons who are the lowest of men. Why they are lowest? Neither they know nor they want to know the reality. Neither they know the reality nor they have any idea of knowing the reality. So they are the lowest ones. Lowest of the men do not seek me. They are not worried of God. Let God sleep in his abode nicely. What does it matter to me? Don't you need anything? Because I have heard God is the director of supermarket. If you need something, He will supply it to you. How can you condemn God? Have you no need? No, I am quite enough well with my accessories, whatever I have. Whatever I have, let it. Are you not worried of this worldly life? No, I am worried, I am well to do with it. I don't get sleep if I don't quarrel, and if I don't get some abuses from my wife and my brothers and my children, I don't get sleep. So I am quite well with it. This is how the most lowest person, ignorant persons feel. Neither they neither they know the reality, they don't want to know the reality, and they are not worried of it, and they have been habituated with all these sufferings and miseries of the world. It has become a habit.
Immune.
Yes, it has become their lifestyle itself. If the husband comes from the office and doesn't quarrel with the wife and sits calmly, then wife comes calmly and asks, "Are you well? Are you?" Have you no headache or nothing else like that? Are you quite well? Because you are sitting so calmly. What is matter? That has been the habit, that is the part of life. So this is how the lowest ones, the ignorant ones, duskritino, mudha. Mudha means the lowest beings, ignorant beings. Namam prapadyante, they don't get into me. Naradhava, they are the lowest of the beings. Mayaya parita jnana, their knowledge is taken over, their awareness, their inherent nature is taken away by the illusory power. They are so much deluded, they are so much overwhelmed with their daily so-called habits. They have no time to stand and stare. Nothing they have. They don't want to look at the reality. So this is how the illusory power has taken over their knowledge, their awareness. They have become completely the slave of the illusory power. Kritadas, the slave. The evildoers are the deluded who are the lowest of the men. Do not seek me. they whose knowledge is destroyed by illusion follow the ways of demons. Demons, asuras. Demons, they are the evil doers. A whole life they will be doing only evil actions, whatever is destructive for them and for others. Asura, Mayaya prahita jnanaha, asuram bhavamasitaha. These people, they follow the ways of demons. These three kinds of people have no discrimination between right and wrong, the real and the unreal. They commit murder, robbery, theft, and other kinds of atrocious actions. They speak untruth and injure others in a variety of ways. Those who follow the ways of the demons take the body as the self-like Virochana and worship it with flowers, scents, nice clothes, and palatable foods, and various sorts. Their deluded souls, they try to nourish their body and do various sorts of evil action to attain this end, to please the body. They will do everything for the sake of body, eating, drinking, making merry, and enjoying all the objects of senses. All the senses are fully overpowering them. All the 10 senses, not only 5. Therefore, they do not worship me. Ignorance is the root cause of all these evils. Don't forget, this ignorance is root cause for everything, not only doing evils, but all our miseries, all our problems, all our sufferings, or so-called little happiness, that is also caused by ignorance only, because it is momentary. So when the discriminative power is not done, you have no decisive power to find out what is perishable and what is imperishable, what is momentary and what is eternal. Then naturally one will follow the momentary, whatever is happening at present before us, which is ever changing. We are changing these sense objects to get a little pleasure. Even then, even though it is momentary, never mind, something is better than nothing. This is how we are deluded. Why it is so? Because we don't know what is eternal bliss. We don't have the discriminative power to find out what is eternal, what is imperishable, and what is momentary. Why we are not to decide this, not to know this? Because our knowledge our so-called awareness is taken over by the illusory power, 3, qualitative nature. How? By making us restless by the imbalancing state of all these 3 qualities, ever restless, no time to think of all these. Ever engaged in changing this. There is a beautiful joke on it. Once Nasiruddin, so-called imaginary being of our Osho, Nasiruddin, Mullah Nasiruddin, he makes stories on Mullah Nasiruddin only. So, Mullah Nasiruddin was so much weeping and breaking his head, and he was restless, worried, and he went to his guru and fell at his feet and said, Guruji, please save me, I am dying, please save me. Guruji asked, what has happened? That fellow will kill me, please save me, or else he will surely kill me. What? Who is that person? That person. What is the name? Who is that person? Tell me so that I shall do something. I don't know the person. Then how did you know he will call? Who will kill you? Who will murder you? Come on, tell me. No, I don't know who is writing such a letter every day. What is he writing? Who is writing? I don't know. Somebody comes every day and puts a note under my door, pushes inside. When I come from outside and I open my door, I enter in, I see the note is there lying. I take up the note and read it. Every day he threatens me, written there, don't chase my wife at night or else I shall kill you. Be aware. You will not be saved from my hands. Somebody writes it and puts it under my door. Little gap. So Guruji asked, so don't change it. No. The person doesn't write his name. So what shall I do? Never mind whosoever may the person, it need not know the name. But don't change the girl whom you are chasing every night. Guruji, what shall I do? It is not one. How can I decide whom to change and whom not to? Yes, sir. All these changing idols, they are our desires. We are the slave of desires. Every moment we are running behind these desires, and we have been so restless. Every moment we have been killed by our enemies. These desires, they are kama esa, krodha esa, rajo guna samudbhava. These are the enemies. They are ever ready to destroy you completely. Be aware of these two. They not only two, they have subordinates, so many others. In this way, The three kinds of people have no discrimination between right and wrong. The real and unreal, they commit murder, robbery, theft, and of the kinds, and they speak untruth and injure others in the variety of ways. Those who follow the ways of the demons take the body as the self-like Virochana and worship it with flowers, etc. They try to nourish their body and do various sorts of evil actions to attain this end. End means to please the body, to enjoy by the sense objects. Therefore, they do not worship me. Ignorance is the root cause of all these evils. Ignorance is the root cause of everything. So tomorrow we shall see Chaturvidha bhajante mam janaha sukritinorjuna arto jigyansu artharthi jnani cha bharatarsava. Arjun, four kinds of devotees come to me, they think of me, they come to me, they worship me. This we shall see tomorrow. Four kinds of devotees. What are they? How do they do worship of the Lord? How do they think of Lord? So they are not the demons. Okay. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnada Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasisate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Gita Mata ki jai. Mahamaya ki jai.